Right, yep, there guys. Sorry, just making sure everything's all set up. In the car. Yeah. Am I forgetting anything now? I'm just going through my head, make sure everything's there. Stuff set, whatnot. I believe I am fine. Oh, update on Flow. I'm just not what's happening just now, but just planned is a integration with Kick. I'm not too sure because there is some Twitch rules saying you can't merge chats. Might make it a pain in the butt to do. Chat messages are fine though. I move this up. Right, I think that's chat window. That's fine. Yeah, we're doing game icons today. This is for my game. I've got so there's like 4 bars technically. We've got the hunger bar, which you already see here, like little chicken leg. We've got your mana bar, which I've got 4 stages. I'm thinking maybe animate that. I don't know. It will be hard. It shouldn't hard to animate. There were original there was originally black outlines on these like these bits here. They've been like that. And somebody suggested that'll probably not come up too well. Currently I'm working on mouse cursors. Pieces. Which technically go in their own role. Technically not. It's just I can't quite get it right. Tip, by the way, for game dev. That reminds me, I knew I was forgetting something. I was sitting there at the start like, oh, I'm definitely forgetting something. Graph. Connect Flomu's channel to my ears. There we go. That's the one that never connects automatically, and it probably could find a way, but then it's 2 sources, well, 2 inputs, or well, 1 input for 2 outputs. Don't work quite that way. We've got these ones, so like this one would be like an active cursor, and it's like selected, boop 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 boop. See why they're different sizes. I was thinking of doing showing off some of this progress in the game. It's not much, but there's some. I'm just thinking whether or not I should do that just now, because that's just a simple OBS change. But I don't know, maybe we would have to see. I need to see where this music level's at. Bump up a bit, maybe. Okay level. I can't hear. Oh, can. I'm also listening to music currently. So. Interesting. I keep getting kicked from the chat on Twitch. I don't know what that is. Yeah, this thing opened. So yeah, currently I was working on a clock. That was the last thing I was working on. Actually, the last thing I was working on was this spawner. Here and there, it's I don't know how to, so I'm using ChatGPT to help me with that bit. And it's a bit of a nightmare. Let's just say. Because I sort of like want to be able to exclude areas from being spawned in, obviously. It's how you do that. So I need 2 shapes, maybe? It could be like an excluder. Like, oh, exclude this bit for spawning, and so I can have like one whole map. But then, like, so like, we've got the main spawner. That would be like priority. And then priority 1 would be sort of what would it be, like designated areas, like if we know before the boss room we want, or at least, or in certain engines we want always to be a griffin, for example. We don't have griffins, we have wyverns. Say we want wyverns, then that's what we do. I do have the spawner, it should be set up if I've done it correctly. My programming knowledge says it is done properly. But I don't know. I don't know. It might not be. But yeah, everything should be okay. Yeah, I was recording a video earlier in my shed in my workshop. Hopefully I can get it on YouTube soon. I just gotta move it from my phone. It's not gonna be great audio quality. I don't have a separate mic for it. But the interesting thing about phones is they've got surprisingly good mics. I understand the point of the little handheld ones. Is that you can cut out background noise, but you do have to sync audio then. And audio syncing's not a pain, if you know what you're doing. Okay, we're working on that. I'm thinking, I'm liking the, I like the arrows so far. I like this arrow. This one, these ones here, perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with those ones. I like those ones. Okay. Especially, excuse me, especially go boop, 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 boop. Like, you know, like you're actually selecting. Should come out fine. It is this I'm not so sure about. Because I'm thinking, well, if that's shadow, something seems off. Like a small scale, nothing wrong with it. Looks fine. It's larger scale, and yeah. I think these are 16 by 16, aren't they? What's a grid one again? G? Not G.
The Scottish Cat 32 says, "What dis?"
Just game icons for game. Not showing chat. Oh, it does. It's the chat's further than I actually thought. Oh no, it's because I'm stupid. That's why. Oh yeah, I forgot I had that redeem. We're still going to do the water one. We've got the magic one. Should be blue. Save to be sure. But yeah. This probably be the war. I'm not too sure what to do for war. Because it'll just be 3 bars like this. The hunger. The way the hunger and that works in the game, it's not quite similar to Minecraft. It's more it's kind of like your hunger and your thirst affect your ability to fight. So the more full you are, the harder it is for you to fight. The more hungry you are, the harder it is. You want to kind of be somewhere within a balance. That balance will depend on the character you play as.
The Scottish Cat 32 says, "Like Minecraft."
Not quite. Minecraft hunger doesn't really play a part. It only really plays a part in your health regen. Which is one stamina as well. Which I haven't got that. I haven't decided whether I'm going to have stamina. I think we should have. I don't know. Because the stamina's not hard to. It's just an extra. You just essentially saying instead of moving 10 pixels, you say move 20 pixels. Just sort of change the speed. I don't. My player script. I want to check this. Player instead of a. Movement's down here. Movement speed 120 by default. So yeah, I'm feeding that in through a single variable. Variable. So yeah, I can adjust that easily to change speed. This is why you always do speed through a single variable. Makes things a lot easier. Wait, is it even getting passed through? Yeah. Velocity equals input vector times movement speed. But yeah, that should be fine like that. I I do still need to work on character attacking and stuff. GUI needs to work. What Discord notification? Here, why? Who's the Badoopa? Badoopa. G is bucket. Anyway. I could darken this side up a bit. You know, like, oh yes, alt that.
The Scottish Cat 32 says, going to be RPG?
Yeah, be an RPG. Yeah, see, look. I don't, it kind of looks okay like that. But at a far distance, you don't notice it. There is a line tool, and I can't remember this. Yeah. B for brush. We've got the little heart icon. It's not individual heart display. It's just a normal bar. It's just we've got each heart. The heart changes depending on your health. Half health, half heart. Zero health, obviously. Zero heart. Same with Magicka. It's just it depends on your how much you've got left. It was between the spiral like decaying to. Just noticed a mistake. No, that's correct. Because technically, that inner bit here is part of this outer circle here. Doesn't really translate well, but
The Scottish Cat 32
separate
says,
here.
a Moor bar as well?
Oh, assuming you mean mana. Or armor. I don't think we need an armor bar. Because the armor doesn't really play a part. Cause the armor does play a part in the sense of defense. I can't get depth of that because I can't remember what system is. I think I know we've got like we've got elemental damage and base damage, and those two are separate then conjoined at the end of the calculation to then calculate that the total damage to be dealt. Or if for testing you have a button you press and it subtracts a set amount of health. That's the easiest way of doing it too. But then you've got to be in a certain area for that. I think I've still got to do attack damage. But I need to figure a way to get when something's in the attack box, essentially say, yeah, this is the attack box, now you just find out what this thing is and it takes health away. Essentially. Simple way of doing it, but there are other ways of doing programming, Godot. It's just this pointy cursor. I'm not all too sure. I'll have some reference up. Pixel cursor. Oh, got the E and the L mixed up in pixel. Oh, that's course, not curse.
The Scottish Cat 32 says, top-down game or 2D?
2D top-down. Because it's top-down and side-scroller, so it's top-down. Oh, where am I? Most cursors, alt that, apparently go down. See. Want that there. Down like that. We go, then, see? Then we go angled. That. The end. Goes down further. Then up. Oh, sorry. Something like that, apparently, is how they go. Which is kind of the feel I went for, but not quite as good. This isn't quite good. Erase some here. I want to try and keep a padding of 2 on the edges. See, I don't like how when it's maybe when it's filled, it looks okay. But let's go in a bit like that. Because we get this somewhat good on the height, but not quite as good. That's why we've been able to do this, because I've not been quite good at the other ones yet. I think it's because they're larger. That's how these cursors are getting away with looking. Mine aren't as good because I'm going 60%. They're slightly larger. Ah. Perhaps if I enlarge this section. Okay. L. One in from that side, but that's not correct. Kind of weird. My watch is complaining to me to exercise more. How about that? That look okay? That looks about right. We need not M, B. Ready. Am I on the right layer? I am not on the right layer. I've got to select this. Control X. Control V. Now we're on the right layer. We erase that one maybe? 3 blocks up. Ish, I think we just need one. That. Yeah. Maybe thicken this up.
The Scottish Cat 32 says, "It going be a platformer?"
No, platformers are the ones that's top down, sort of like almost top down games. It is an RPG. I've got the I've not got the demo yet or level yet. I've got some bits. See, there's every time the first message on Kick is always a bot message, and they're not even good bot accounts. Just come into chat, leave a message saying, "Oh, go to this website, get bots." But they're obviously one of those websites where you don't really
The
want.
Scottish Cat 32 says, bot is going bot.
Actually, not check flow. Fine. I've changed it. I had the web panel open. Random replies off. That's why. I believe that's off because it's broken again. It breaks all the time, and I can never fix it. Urgh. No, it's not that I can't fix it. It's that it is fixed. It just breaks constantly because a message gets stuck somewhere. A message shouldn't get stuck. Now we can copy this color, fill that in like that. And I have no idea how big this cursor is. You can play around with them. Well, we don't want to erase that edge. Do that. There we go. I'm just looking at these icons I found here for examples. We could do, sorry, we could do that one. I like that one better.
The Scottish Cat 32 says, whatever happened to GPG?
Nobody ever really wanted to stream. I tried keeping it going, but nobody would show up. People wouldn't really do activities. I'd do my best. That's why we had the game time with thing for way back when, as a way to keep it up, because it meant that if somebody could still upload without having to worry too much about having, because the point of being on the channel is group stuff be there, and we have our own channels to upload our own stuff. Yeah, we could just do like a side triangle like that and then rotate it. Because orientation in game doesn't matter. Like you have up, down, and then you really need your either left or your right view because you just sort of flip it. That's why you can, most games like if the character's got an eye patch, it only shows up when they're facing forward. The eye patch disappears when they're facing sideways. It's rather than having a single view. Rather instead of doing that, it's because every pixel costs money, somewhat. I think I'd be what per
The Scottish Cat 32
asset.
says,
Probably
you
more
need a
expensive.
map icon and a settings one as well.
Not yet. I don't. And technically speaking, I can get away with larger icons on this sheet. It's a 16 by 16's goal, I guess you could say. We do still need the water icon. And from the layer. That'll probably be here, but I need to decide like what type of water I can do. I just want a droplet? Do I want a water flask? A flask with type? Do I want like a little, what is it, vial? No. Oh, I know what the thing called. Mixing one. You usually see them in potion bottles. Yeah,
The Scottish Cat 32 says, make a reference to Dig Dig Hole from the Yogscast.
What if I did another color inside this? Do a random pattern, it doesn't mean anything. It kind of looks like a symbol. It does add a bit more character to the cursor. Makes that awkward shape kind of stand out.
The Scottish Cat 32 says, it's off canter.
Yeah. That's just because the way it works. I think it's actually because of this. Why are these not erasing? Oh, I'm on the wrong layer again. Oh, X. Go to, where is it? Mouse, 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 mouse. That's mana, that's mouse. If I line up with that, I guess. And copy that one, I can probably fix the sizing here. That's probably why it looked off to me. Or do I just want to simply erase this edge? Okay, that's, I need off color 1, 2, 3, 3. In from this side. Oops. That looks a bit better. We're now off on that corner. You kind of
The
want
Scottish Cat 32 says, who getting to do the soundtrack for the game?
I'm not even on the soundtrack stage yet. So far, I'm just building mechanics and then putting them together. Got what? A test enemy setup and a slime. That looks fine. What if I put a black border around? Here's a quicker way to. I have no idea how. I've forgotten these. Gosh.
The Scottish Cat 32 says, go with, for Valve to publish the game?
Yeah, black border kind of makes it stand out. Yeah, it's going to be on Steam. That's the plan. I originally thought that for this, and I think there's a reason I didn't go for it. Rush. It stands a little bit better. That one. Yeah, that like makes it stand out a bit better. There is a thing in this tool for doing that. Heck if I remember what it was. Ah, dang. Dang. Dang, I did it again. That. You can go zoom out to see what it looks like. Like, zoomed out. If we make this blue.
The Scottish Cat 32 says 64 bits, 32-bit, 16 bits, 8-bit, 4-bit, 2-bit.
Yeah, that sounds a little bit better. We could go with a darker one. I'm going to go M. Select this. Move it over one. That's now one pixel from the top, one pixel from the right. And overall, better lined up. The only thing I don't have highlighted is the center bit, but that should be fine.
The Scottish Cat 32 says, quest icon you need to make?
That's if I want quests. I don't really have a quest system. I would have to build it. There we go. Yeah. This is why, because it's too close to these. Doesn't look as good. But we might get away with it. Oh, we would just get away with it. Yeah, we'd just get away with it. I did fill the inside this now. Yeah. Definitely different colours. Yeah, I like them all that much. Select it and hold Alt and move it over. Boop, boop. And then we just, fill this up with a different colour. Like orange. It's just a random one I chose. We could scale it down, but I don't know if we'd get away with that. Whoops. I'm doing the cheaty way of scaling it down. Now we just move this in one. This way the cursor keeps its original shape, a bit smaller. So one would be for selecting, one would not be for selecting. Let's switch back to the blue. I like the blue more. Yeah. I like the blue accent again. There we go. Nah, I don't like blue in that one. Oops, missed. Went back one too far. Oops. Yeah, looks. Yeah, looks fine-ish. Assume for the right size now. In the games, you can kind of get away downscaling a little. It don't work out too well depending on it. The trick is sort of larger pixels, but then you shrink it down in its own viewport. It works and it doesn't work. It's just how it is. I might show off some stuff. So give this a quick savey. Still need to do one. I'm thinking a flask, sort of a leather flask. Then that way we can upgrade it later for a player to hold and maybe more water. We don't have a weight system. We could have a weight system. This is an extra thing. Quest system, if I want a quest system, would have to try and build universal, so I can just say like quest items and stuff. Sort of like way Bez would do it. It'd be the easiest way, because otherwise you're doing a lot more complicated stuff that you need to, like, you're constantly building every quest independently rather than, you know, making it like a central system for quests. Vector. Oh, yeah. There we go. Here's good. This is a sort of like the test area. Here's what it actually looks like in game. See the UI up here on the left. It's not perfect. It is sort of blurry. That's could be down to scaling, and I might need to adjust something and sort of, you know, have a larger thing. But no. Need to look into that though. Slime, nothing doesn't do anything. Health bars and mana bars will work. They're out of line, but that's because I had to reintroduce them. So I had to delete them and add back because they were a bit off. Like some of the code didn't work. I could reattach the scripts, but then I'm just building it again. I'll be right back. Yeah. Okay, I'm back, guys. I had to go move the car. The camera's all blurry. Oh no, it's the stream. That's fine. The stream's on a lower quality. But where was I? Yeah. So, like I said, that's an easy fix. I'm not doing it right now. What I'm doing is, it depends where is cipher there is. This slime, you may notice if I stop the game, doesn't exist. That's the spawn area. It's supposed to spawn 5. It's spawning 1. And right now, so I checked the issue into ChatGPT. It says, oh yeah, that's how the code's supposed to work. I do have 2 solutions. Solution 1, which was the one ChatGPT me, separate function that checks how many needs to be spawned. Good idea. Keeps code separate, keeps it safe. But it does come with the issue of me having to run that and then the main script several times. Rather than, well, not the main script, the function several times. Not bad. The way that I originally wanted it, which was the spawn function to do all the spawns. So it knows how many to do, because the spawn function, whose sole job is just to say, that blue area, right, how big is it? Where can I put stuff in it? Okay, we've got that information now. Pass that on to whoever wanted it. The spawn area runs itself, says, alright, I need the area of how big of make it. Grabs that, goes that. Only does it once on ready. We'd probably want to do a thing in it, like a clock. And then use like the timer here, like, so there's several ways of doing Godot, and I'm sort of doing it the wrong way and the right way. Right to me, probably wrong way of doing ENG Godot. There's probably better ways. So was it? If I go to test enemy, you see all the stuff here to do with test enemy. This is my main one. Oh well, oops. To view. I need to reopen that. So this bit here, this wee grey box here, that's the pet box. The inner circle here is the detection box. The reason I've got this is a box inside, say, I can be detected, and that way I can say if for some reason I add running, I can adjust its size. Sorry, no, this is damage box. My mistake. I'm getting this mixed up. I was going to do that, but detection box currently, detection box just detects whatever's node. I keep forgetting to change that over to the other system. So this is the damage box. This is how close you've got to be to actually damage. You can see it's slightly larger. We've then got the collider, I think, somewhere. Collision box. Here we go. Yeah. I remember this was what I'm detecting, but this is the hitbox of, like, well, sort of like how it collides to the world. You can see the health bar isn't actually fuel. That's how you know it works. Health bar itself. So this is how you usually do it in Godot. Rather than building a health bar in here, you build a health bar there in its own area. This is all the health bar is. And then you just link it here. That's it. And then it uses health bar. Technically, I don't need a health bar, but I was testing health, and this is the simpler way of doing it rather than printing out constantly. Which does work. Printing out does work. That's how I tested originally. But yeah, this isn't the final look for this enemy. This is, of course, a test enemy. We've got a... I've got a list somewhere. On GitHub. Nope. That one. You may notice the name Dungeon Hearts spewed somewhere. That's not the name of the game. That's his project name. Still working on a good name. Still, I need a good name. Dungeon Hearts temporary name. Where are we looking for? We are looking for in the docs folder. And then we're looking for enemies and NPCs. We've got a good list. So I've mapped out all the beasts and monster races. Well, beast / monster. Because you've got the humanoids, which are your standard humanoid ones. And you got your human types. which I guess you could technically shove human under humanoid, but not really, because it's non-human and human. We've got human types and non-human types. Parentheses humanoid, but technically it is human, but non-human, but humanoid, human-like. But we've got beast race, which is just a general sort of like, oh, what is it? Cat girl, dog person, sort of like stuff like that. Maybe stuff like that. I haven't finalized this. Is why I just put down as beast race. I've not specified what I want. Niku, I think it is. Niku, which is a cat person. I think that's it. I'm not sure. Got lizard people, orcs, elves, dwarfs, ents. You might ask what ents. Ents are because we've got in the dungeon 2 levels is forest roof and forest floor. This is below subsurface. And then we've got like sort of foyer area. And then we've got the labyrinth beneath that. And then I think we've got another 2 levels undone, unnamed, and then the boss chamber itself. We could randomize it, make the labyrinth stretch mobile floors, but the labyrinth is our padding area, I guess you could say. It's not done. It's going to be randomly generated every 24 hours in game. We've got an in-game clock. That was a nightmare to set up because I had to use essentially 2 ChatGPT windows. I think I commented that somewhere in the code. We'll get to that there. So that's the non-humans. Humans, we've got bandits, criminal, thief, mage, and swordsman. Technically, these are subclasses of human. I felt listing them up might be better. Beast monsters. Now this is all. We'll probably add more to that. We've got deer, wolves, slimes, ghosts, skeletons, ghouls, chest mimics, goblins, cursed armor, and wyverns. Wyverns are going to be a sort of mini boss. Anytime we need to slow a player down, we'd probably chuck a wyvern in. I guess we could also use the in-game clock to calculate how long it took the player to get from A to B. If they're going too fast, we'll chuck a wyvern in or two to, you know, sort of slow down. But wyverns are probably going to be the most advanced AI we've got. So far, I'm building in a 2 AI system. Essentially, the only difference being that if there's a AI script, we use that instead of the built-in AI. Because that's the idea behind the test enemy is this is a template for all enemies. I just copy this, paste it in there, and most of the work's done. It saves you from having to redo lines of code you already have. Granted, I probably could do this better. Probably. Like, I could maybe... I don't know, I'm thinking like... I'm trying to think of things I could chuck in. Because are just essentially knows in one script. The health bar. Much more to it than that. The only thing changes in maybe the detection circle, and yeah. Which I should probably make visible again. Oop. I think that's all my enemies. I've got lists on my GitHub page for what they are. Not public, this is private. It's like a real rough outline of saying like what is hostile to base health, damage range, speed, which currently I put in based off of player speed. Now I'm thinking I could get the player speed and then sort of if it's like 0.1% faster than the player, then we increase speed by 0.1. If it's 0.5%, if it's 0.5% slower than the player, then we go down. Currently, like speed I've got marked as 1.1, so if the player's moving at 1, then we move at 1.1. I need to probably adjust the speeds. Loot, I've got that listed in there. Immunities, weaknesses. I think I showed this off in the last stream. No, last stream, like a stream or 2 or 3 ago. AI type, basic or advanced. spawn levels. This is so I can keep track of where it's to spawn, despite we've now got a spawn thing. Originally the code was just going to have that. I'm going to do it manually to fine tune stuff. There is a special ability area that's sort of just sitting there for things I may need. Like maybe I want to start adding special attacks, or maybe like the wyvern can ignite itself and then start doing battle that way. Or like it could ignite the room. Maybe, I don't know, the wyvern. Which is kind of, no, like, I'm not going Witcher style, but I'm using Witcher for inspiration for some of the fantasy creatures. Like, I'm not going to make elves their sort of way with loving selves. I might make them a bit dickish. They're mortal. They just see humans making the constant same mistakes over and over again, and they're not able to understand why humans don't learn, or realizing human lives are short, so therefore they don't pass information on. I could do something like that, but I'm not too sure. I've not gotten to them yet. I have been doing books. I'd have to load up living labs for that, and that would be a bit of a pain. Not really. But I could have Lomu read out one of the books. Be that much of a pain, to be fair. A little annoying, but yeah. What else have I got in this document, actually? I've got that, gatekeepers, credits, that's just my folder credits for people who give me help and ideas and stuff. Items list, that's similar to the monster one, monster NPCs. Notes and ideas and a plot and both that, they're sort of mixed between each other. I'm trying to keep them in one, but I've mixed them over a few times. I've got help scripts, books and lore. Let's see how many books I have here. I have 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 books planned. And we done what, 3 or 2 just now? Technically I've completed 2. The other 2 need to get done. One's sort of a book about a mage's experiences with cursed stuff, and she's sort of clumsy. Like, so, an example one in my head is she's found a cursed chestplate that's designed to crush you. She's put it on. But rather than crushing her, she's sort of bumbled a way to survive because she had a corset that was magic to stop people from groping her, I guess you could say. So both curses counteract each other, so instead of the armor crushing her, it just fits her perfectly. It's sort of like things like stories like that she'll tell in her book, and the player can read these books if they care or not. Then I've got a book about the 3 coins, and another about 3 coins, which is a book telling you about how the currency works. It's not math book like this is how this works, is how many coins you need this. It's more about the view of a arrogant banker sort of person, sort of like how rich people don't really understand poor people problems thing. Except this is like a point of view of a banker who's clearly doesn't understand the way of the world from a common folk compared to the world of than his world. He thinks he understands it because, you know, if you want to know the type of person, just look at most protests in universities. You know, where they think they know what they know when they don't. They just want people to sort of not necessarily follow them, more accept them. Then I've got, where is it? Tales of Curse, equipment. Oh, yeah, On the Paying of Debts, which is the second book by the banker guy. This is sort of more of a view into the world of how debts in this game works. Because there's like a 2 debt system sort of thing. There's like the debt where the common folk have and the debt where the rich have. So like the common folk won't persecute you for not paying. You could pay off your debt by doing work on the land, whereas a rich person is probably more likely going to actually persecute you for not paying your debt. And like what we have, like if I had the personal debt with somebody I know, I could just offer them a service to pay it off. Where if it's a company, they'd rather get their money. Okay, like I can get Flomo to feed them out. But yeah, we've got so back to I think that's all okay for that. We'll come back to the books of lore later. The idea of books of lore is being books to help build the lore of the world. So if a player gets interested in the game, they might decide to learn stuff, and if I decide to make a sequel, I've got data to build off of. Yeah. No more books than that, just those four. But yeah, so in here we've got the attack box, we've got the player with the health bar, we've got the collision one. So we've got damage box or hit box.
Sniper
Could do
Heartwolf
others.
says,
Hello,
Sniper
Sniper!
492, love Sniper 492, love Sniper
How are you doing, Sniper?
492, love Sniper 492, love Sniper 492, love.
I haven't checked if any of that audio's coming. I really should. Yeah, I see.
Sniper Heartwolf says, I love you, Flo Mew.
Only should be operational. Remember the dash in her name. I was actually testing.
Sniper Heartwolf says, miss you.
Was it?
Sniper Heartwolf says, how are you?
Well, I'm doing fine, Sniper. How are you doing? You everything good? I'm just talking about game lore. We're doing some Pixar. I'm just showing off the game for now. For like when I've got something. Honestly, I've got something to show Jeebus later. But yeah, because people have been asking me about the game if I can create like sort of
Sniper Heartwolf says, yes, I've been going good.
Well, that's good to hear. Yeah. I've not been working on Flow because I'm trying to get this going, but I've been messing around with Flow. Need to get a few patches done, really. Add, do we? I should find that. Yeah, don't think I'm missing anything else other than that, because it has been a while since you were last year.
Sniper Heartwolf says, I can TTO see how she grown.
Yeah. I think I'm trying to remember if I've added anything else.
Sniper Heartwolf says, can't wait. Sniper Heartwolf says, lol.
Well, I do have a few things planned. I've forgotten most of them now.
Sniper
they're in the
Heartwolf
plans.
says, sorry, tired.
It's okay. Can't remember. I'm pretty sure it's fairly late for you. Somewhat late, if I mind right. You're, I think, at least at minimum, I would say 6 hours ahead of me. That's a rough guess. Mainly because I'm just assuming you're somewhere within 8. I have no idea.
Sniper Heartwolf says, UAE.
Yeah, I'm not good at geology. Geography. Sorry. Oh. Yeah.
Sniper Heartwolf says, Dubia.
Yeah. I thought you were within that area. For some reason, I thought you were in Japan for a while. I don't know if it was because I think I remember you saying something at one point. I can't remember exactly. I just remember the name coming up for. Anyway, yeah. I'm forgetting that one. I'm forgetting. Mine's on blank. Yeah, Flomo, that was it.
Sniper Heartwolf says, I got married in Japan.
I think that's what I was getting me confused.
Sniper Heartwolf says, I stayed a few months there.
Was it fun? Oh, I know how I can figure out what I have been doing. If this is the correct one, I just open this back up.
Sniper Heartwolf says, yes, we buy a house there next year.
Ooh.
Sniper Heartwolf says, buying.
That's good. I have thought about moving to Japan, but then I don't know any Japanese at all. I know little, tiny. I can't read. I know just basically, I guess you could say the most common words in anime. Uh, where are we? Oh, that was the most recent one. Now I remember. This is what I was trying to remember of what I've been doing to Flomu. I showed a bit off to Jeebus on his stream. Flomu, I'm trying to get her to do karaoke. I'm hoping I can get her to start singing karaoke, but I have to build my own voice module for it. I tried using 11 Labs, but it doesn't quite work, so I'm hoping is I can use 11 Labs to grab a voice sample, then use a modulator to adjust her voice from there. Might work, it might not, I don't know. But it's just because how 11 Labs reads it. It kind of works. Kind of. Horrifically bad, like it's kind of the equivalent of her reading each line individually. But it kind of works. What else? Trying to get her Kickbot version of her set up so she can be on Kick. Because currently I can't hear Kick chat. But I need to double check that before even connect it. Just because the way Twitch works, Twitch doesn't allow for their chat to be mingled with other chats. They have to be separate. That's why you'll see some streamers with two chats on stream, like they've got the Twitch chat and maybe the other one if they multi-stream. It's why I've just disabled my on-screen chat. It's just to guarantee it doesn't get mixed up with stuff, because I can't remember if Kick is in there as well.
Sniper Heartwolf says, did you get her to play Minecraft?
Yeah, I got her playing Minecraft for a while. Expensive doing it, but yeah. Essentially, it's because it's the same thing, but it just costs me a bit more to run her and playing Minecraft than it does thingy than standard talking. I'm just going through that
Sniper
stuff.
Heartwolf says, how much is it that I want my AI to play Minecraft?
It's not that much more. It's just that it's not that much more than it is to use a normal AI. It's just that it's a little bit. So instead, it's something like, if I bring up my actual thing, because I might still have it in my builds. AI folder. AI folder. Platform. Billing overview, I think it's under. Oh, go log in. Log in. No, log in. There you go. Now we log in. There we go. I think it's about the same price. Billing history. Oh, and the usage then. Why is this empty? Oh, because that's why. When was I last using the AI one again? Let's go with July. That work? That looks like standard usage. December to from May then. No, April actually. All the way down to July. Right, I have to narrow this down because I can't remember when. I do remember doing it because I showed her on stream. We should build a little house by spawn. I had to rebuild my house twice now since then. Just because ooh, that's a
Sniper
big spike.
Heartwolf says, I remember you sent me a screenshot and she was in Minecraft.
Yeah, the screenshot. I did. I think I had her on stream. you give the AI tasks and talk to them through the in-game chat. Yeah, it's called Mindcraft. It essentially uses large language models to play it. Oh yeah, because it changed the rules. Well,
GitHub.com, Minecraft bots, Minecraft.
well, good to know Flomi's working TTS wise. Yeah, that's the link. I had the wrong chat window open. That's fine. Where was it? Yeah, so you set this up. It works. Right, it works well. May not go any further back than April. I can start from the start of the year. Then. Bye. You see, I've got a huge spike in the middle there. That's normal spikes. Oh, except maybe March. That's good, and I've at least narrowed down the month. Services API key. No users. Yeah, it's just me. I can't find the cost, but I do know it's a lot more tokens to use it because obviously it sends more data to the AI to process. But I do know if you're not careful, it will sort of just eat through it. Which if you got a large buildup of tokens, you're fine. Hmm. Okay, that's how that close. Dungeon Heart. There we go. Books of Lore. Okay, so the oh, not jukebox. Oh, I just said it earlier. Karaoke version of Flomu. So that's this one. It'll be so Flomu can like give Flomu any song. Like the idea would be any song in any language, and she'd be able to sing it. But if I have to train the AI, I have to use words I know. The beauty of songs is that it doesn't, as long as it matches
Sniper
melody.
Heartwolf says, nice.
Yeah, it's because like what we would have to do is feed her the same way as you would sing karaoke. All you need to know is the tune and the words, and that's it. The same with Flomu. All she should need to know is along with timing, because again you get the timing from the song, so Flomu needs that as well. So anyway, so she needs to know when to sing the words, how long the words go on for, how that amplitude, no, frequency, maybe. But essentially, what note to sing when. Kind of works right now. I'm trying to fine tune it to be a better one. It was supposed to be originally one single script. Now it's gone into like 3 or 4 scripts to teach Flomu to sing. But hopefully, it all comes out good. I'm having to use like a neural net to sort of get the fine tuning bit done, but yeah, see how it goes. But yeah, let's back to describing the game again. Now I've got to remember my place. I think I was on about the collision shapes, yeah. The red rigged circle. This is the box where it detects who's entered and what's entered and whether or not it cares if somebody's entered this area. Like if I go over to where test time is, you'll see in the bottom left area, you'll see it sort of pops in and out of when I enter its detection area. If I'm standing here, it doesn't care. It's not going to attack me. I go here. It goes, oh hey, you've entered my space. Attack. Oh look, the slime spawned closer. Slime does spawn randomly. I do need to fix it though, because that's just Z layering. That's have to fix. Yeah, that's how that works. We've got health bar, we've got name label. This is just. I'm not sure if I'll keep this. I have it there because I have names for the enemies, but I might get rid of it. But keep it for some enemies. It's like the slime doesn't need to be. You don't need to know a slime's a slime. Hopefully I can get Helen Pixels. She's a Twitch streamer who does pixel art. Hopefully I can get her to do some pixel art for the game. I don't know. I'll need to ask her, communicate stuff that. We'll see how that goes. But I'm gonna try and do some basic art for myself. See how it goes. But yeah, we've got that. We've got the slime. Slime is a lot easier. It's fairly simple. Our little slime. But yeah, every enemy, if I go into the entities enemy folders, has okay, the slime's at the top. This is the stats card. This is everything we need to know about the mob. We've got its display name, its maximum health. Technically, it gets given hunger and base armor. Well, hunger is fine, not necessarily base armor, but hunger doesn't get used. I left that in because that comes with the benefit of adding like a hunger system. It's like if I want wolves to hunt, I can just say to the wolf, hunt when you're hungry, rather than, oh, there's a deer, go kill it. So that way it goes, there's a deer. Do you need to feed? Yes, no. Then no, leave the deer alone. But then in a deer, I could put like in the detection circle when someone comes out, run. Where's it we got? These are the newer one. Is factions and leader. Faction is sort of to be like slime, wolf, like whatever the creature is. It'll be part of that faction. Leader is for when they spawn in packs. It's going to pick one of them to be the sort of the leader. They'll know, hey, I need to chase that guy down. I need to chase that guy down. Well, you like follow whatever they say. Like goblins, for example. For my goblins, I'm going sort of the way it did in Goblin Hunter. I feel like they're quite well thought of goblins. I do like how anime at least hints to how goblins reproduce. That helps for part of the game where it means because you spawn randomly as a different character after every death. Some stats will be random as well. I don't know if I want randomized tools. The idea is you'll spawn in this game into a small town. Oh, yeah, town. Or does he say? Oh, say he's yeah, no, definitely town. And in the town, you'll be spawned in randomly. The starting of the game, I've got this down pat. I don't know if I should do it as a sort of fixed cutscene or let the player go around. You get isekai'd at the start. So I've talked to Jeep as well. He finds it amusing as well. So you walk out your house in the morning, go across the road and get hit by a truck. Standard isekai moment. Jeebus offered the idea of being able to dodge that truck at the start of the game and have an alternate ending at the start where you can just go back on, continue on with your life. And I've sort of thought that then the truck's going to start hunting you down. So it doesn't matter where you go, the truck's just going to start trying to hunt you down. That might be like every time you try to open a door, a truck's going to come out the door. That's a little thing.
Sniper Heartwolf says, "Lol."
I don't know. I mean, it's just that it's going to give the absurdity of a truck's really going out for you. Like somebody really wants you to be in this alternate world. There's no escape from it. They will happily break the laws of physics to do it. I guess I could do it so like you have to get to school, and if you succeed in that, then you're not getting isekai'd. You get an alternate ending sort of thing. To have it so like every time you go to cross the road, sudden truck. If you try to go back in your house, truck. Hopefully with that idea that it sort of makes the player in thinking, oh, I have to get hit by a truck, rather than there's this hidden ending where if I get to school, I'm safe. Or work, I haven't decided yet. But yeah, and then what is it? You've got I've got like 4 endings planned, 2 secretive, and 2 that continue the loop. So when you die, you obviously respawn as a new player. So when it comes down to the dungeon heart, which is temporary name, this is of the boss of the dungeon. You can kill the boss, but then you have to replace the boss if you want the town and everything to survive. Otherwise, it starts to go downhill because the dungeon starts dying because there's nobody there to keep it in control. So you can either do that, that's ending 1, where you just sort of avoid helping, you just kill the boss, move on, but then no new adventurers come to town because there's no dungeon for mobs, of monsters. And because there's no people, adventurers there, there's not much need for the trade in the town, so the town's going to become smaller. Maybe I'll move mimics in, I don't know why, that might be a good idea. Ending 2, you've got where you become the new boss of the dungeon. But because you're immortal, sort of, when you become the boss, you actually die and respawn, but your original body's still there. So your old self is the new boss. You have to then fight. Which means if you massively overgear yourself, you've just overgeared the new boss. I can't quite remember endings 3 and 4. I think one sort of the avoidance isekai one at the start. The other one is one that breaks the loop of the dungeon, of the time loop. So you don't die and reincarnate, you just die. Not too sure. That one I'm still planning out. But that's essentially the idea of the game so far that I've got. I am thinking of adding a follower slime. It's gonna be a little orange slime, like this guy, a bit orange. It's going to be apparently like a rare spawn. It'll like be like friendly and follow you. And I'm thinking of making it somewhat sentient, so it's not necessarily intelligent, more that it knows that you're the same person each time, because it sees your spirit or aura rather than your physical being. It's magical. That's some of the ideas I've had. These are what I've put into like several, the 3 documents. These ideas are mixed over all of them. But yeah, slime's going to be basic anyway. It's just going to see the player and want to attack it. Not forgetting anything, am I? Code-wise, yes. So I've shown off the stats cards, which shows off all the stats of the character, which in itself is its own script. If I scroll here to global script, closed. So this is global script stuff. This is stats card. This is sort of where everything builds its stats off of. This means I only need to edit this, and the rest are all done for me. If I need to add if I need to change max health to health, I can do that. But max health is something that mobs can't go past. A player, I'm going to have a somewhat invisible max health, like health cap, which is the absolute maximum, so you can't give yourself 9,000 health or 9 million. Because then it's just going to ruin it for when you have to try and defeat yourself. These are all the stats. I say stats are variables. You got elemental damage and elemental defense, multipliers. You got. I'll try and explain the elemental damage. So you got. Let me see if I remember this. I think it's commented somewhere in the top there. Is it? It's not. Home hash. There we go. Home hash. Is it in there? Yes, it is. So elemental damage, we've got fire is the first one, so this will be like 1.2 or whatever for fire. Then you've got water, next, you got your magic defense, your magic attacks. This is magic item spells, not this is how much damage they do. Then you've got your faith one. Faith one is sort of to help fight ghosts and ghouls. But the thing is, you can have like a stick and have 100 faith on it to be able to do damage because you have the faith in. It's kind of like that. Income multiplier. Immunity to physical damage. Yeah, immunity mask physical. That's immunity to physical damage. That's for things like ghosts and armor. That's where that takes place. If memory serves right, I'm trying to remember something I set up ages ago. Because the whole damage system was when I set up first. Well, actually, I think player was first and test enemy and then damage. Then we've got the looting stuff at the bottom here of the stats card, which is if they can drop loot, their list of loot they can drop. Then we've also got spawn level ranges, what levels in a dungeon they spawn. Just can really use that as a check, but I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to have to emit a signal for each floor for mobs to know what floor they're on and know that they can't go on that floor, however. Obviously XP drop. These are new ones. Faction, leader, group work. This is if group work is if they are part of a group, then they care about faction and leader. Well, they care more about leader. Faction, sort of. But yeah, like was it hostile to is somewhere here to there is yeah. Like what they're hostile to. Now the way it's supposed to work is a confidence level within the more advanced AIs. Like an enemy has confidence in how well they can defeat you. Not started on AIs yet, but it's there. Starting planning it out, really, at least. But it'd be like things like the call it again. I forgot it now. Goblin. That's the one. The goblin be more aggressive towards female adventurers. Or if you know goblin lore, at least in anime or RPG animes, you'll know that they tend to be more interested in people of feminine kind because it's how they reproduce. So yeah. So
Sniper
you could
Heartwolf
spawn
says,
as
yes.
a female. You could randomly spawn because again, you're spawning randomly as any gender, any race sort of thing. But you could spawn as a female adventurer. Then the goblins would be more aggressive to you rather than defensive. It's like a male adventurer they might not be as interested in unless they're in a pack, where a female adventurer they might be willing to go one-on-one. Then we've got what's max health, max hunger, base armor. Hunger plays a part in this dungeon. So the best way to think of it is Delicious in Dungeon. How they have to stop every so often to have a meal. Oh, basically every episode actually, if I remember the anime correctly. Is the way this hunger system works. Once you're in the dungeon, your hunger affects you, so does your sleep. If you're sleeping in the dungeon, it's less restful than if you're sleeping in a inn. Because obviously there's monsters around, there's noises that will keep you up. Same with hunger, food. Food plays a part of nutrition as well, so you can't, hopefully I'm able to implement it as the idea is you can't just stock up on bread and be fine. If you're constantly eating the same meal, you're lacking in other areas. Like real life, you don't just eat bread. You eat salad, bread, toast. Maybe you may have a curry or trying to think of other things, lasagna, whatever. You mix and match your meals. You're not eating the exact same thing day to day. Maybe you have a few snacks thrown in. I'm thinking of making it so you don't want to be too full. Because like real life, you don't want to be too full when you're moving around, because otherwise you just sit in bed having to digest that food. Just full. But I don't know if I would do that. I haven't implemented thirst yet because I'm still thinking about it. Because hunger and thirst is two things, but I don't know if I want thirst to play a part of the game. In one way, it'd be nice to have if the hunger, like maybe a meal could provide some food substance, like soup, like help with both thirst and hunger. Because soups are mostly water and veg, and oh, that depends what else you do. You can do a chicken soup. I think that's mostly water too. But yeah, up at the top here, you can see like this list's not final. This is just why I put in based off stuff. Test one. This is for testing stuff. But what else we got? Dog somehow got outside. Oh, okay, go check on that. No, he should be fine. Because he was in a minute ago, and I know he's in. Unless the door's been left open. I just don't think it has. Hostile 2 movement speed. That's just how fast the thing moves. 120 is going to be our default for player. I've tested around. 120 seems fine. I mean, if I go play, this is 120, which to me seems fine. The problem is this jumpiness on that. I just noticed that. If you watch test player up or test enemy up here, once I hold up, you'll see him sort of like he's essentially going down that. That might be down to how I coded this. Probably it is. It's just math. Who knew programming is nothing but math? Should I show code for player? Maybe the player. Most of the stuff's not implemented yet. It's just planned out. But we've got like what this main scene here is this test ground. We've got this. This is the spawner. This like if this was a dungeon, this would go over the full dungeon. Then within there we would have sub areas for specific spawn. This is our this is what I'm currently working on. That check area, that's a function we've got for checking the total area. It's like see if the player is in this area, where the player is, can we spawn near the player? We don't want to spawn near the player because of the player. We might want to also see what mobs are in there. We could use this for that. We might say get list of entities within the area. Then maybe within like I don't know, the spawn function here somewhere, I might put check the area first, see how many total enemies we have. Are we depleted? Do we need refill? The idea is about every morning the dungeon will reset every morning. So you don't just empty out an entire floor. You know, just playing full enemies.
_Ama
Hi, Lily.
says, hey Atil.
I'm explaining the game right now. How's your day? Yeah, where was I? Yeah, I've got some enough people here. I might just now also think of stuff to do. I might get Flomo to read up one of the books. There's a book on lore. This would be the 3 coins and understanding of our coinage. It was going to be currency, but then I thought that didn't quite fit. So obviously this is where AI comes in handy for finding words. You just got to remember to keep slapping it and telling you only this word. This one word you're replacing, so you would give that and a coinage came on, and that kind of fits a bit better. Because it's supposed to be like you wouldn't hear the word currency thrown around very often in medieval times. Coinage sounds a bit better, or the coin you might hear. Because you don't say give money to your witcher, it's getting the coin for your witcher. Let's see, 11 labs. This would be the best way to get Flomo to do it. I have listened to these books with text to speech. Wait, was this 11 labs? Already popped up something.
Sia _Ama says, I'm a spawnable enemy.
Not yet, Lily. Oh, I could do that. Yeah, we were just talking about, what was it? Goblins there. How I'm trying to go for similar type of goblins as you've got in Goblin Slayer. So they're more aggressive to the female adventurers than male adventurers. Mainly because goblins need to look for reproduction. They're not that intelligent. Although I don't know, should I have been debating this for a while and I haven't decided on it. Should I add baby enemies? And if I do, should you be able to kill baby enemies? Like, say you find a goblin nest, right? And there's a bunch of baby goblins. Now, do we burn the goblin nest with the babies in it? Or not? Because, you know...
Sniper Heartwolf says, baby potatoes.
I haven't decided about infant ones. I have to decide that at some point.
Cia_Ama says, baby enemy, kill the papa and they grow up and come after you.
Yeah, that's why you kill them too. I actually quite like that in the what do you call it? Goblin Slayer. He had his backstory involved, stuff like that. So
Sniper Heartwolf says, just imagine walking in an abandoned farm and there out of nowhere the ground starts shaking. Baby potato start attacking you.
Yeah, I could do that. Yeah. Because the idea is there are curses in this game. I don't know. Were you here for that? The cursed armor story. So the idea behind one of the books is about cursed items. The mage who writes the book, it's a bit kooky.
That would be fun too.
Yeah. So the mage is a bit kooky. So the way I put it is in my mind is she'll find a magic item, a cursed item. She's interested in curses and how they work, kind of like how Freerin is with mimics or chests. She always wants to open them. This is like a mage with cursed items, so she'd rather, like, if it's cursed armor, she'll put the cursed armor on and see what it does, rather than, you know, experimenting with. Whereas most people probably like put the cursed armor somewhere, look at its runes, see how it works. She'll just put it on and see how it works. It's like the story I've got in my mind for one of them would be a cursed armor she's found that shrinks and crushes its user. But she's got like a magic corset that stopped her from being groped. She uses to stop being. So the cursed armor, she puts cursed chestplate on and it goes to crush her, but the corset counteracts it, so it just fits her snugly rather than killing her. And she's not at all scared of the event. She finds it rather interesting that this has happened. So she might think of other applications she could use it for. Because in her mind, there are no curses. They're just misplaced spells. How could I get this? If that cool cursed armor story works anyway, like, to me it makes sense. I am trying to aim for the books to be rather short, not long-winded stories.
Sniper Heartwolf says, I want to play it already.
I mean, I don't know if I wanted you to be able to meet these characters or not. Some I do. I think it'd be interesting. I'll show you one of the books. Because I've only got 2 books finished, and these are both by sort of a banker who doesn't understand common folk but thinks he does. Because it's like one of the ones is Story on Debt. It was just a second book. He views debt differently as common folk would. Like if somebody owed me something, I don't mind them paying it back in a favor. Whereas if, say, you owed money to a company, the company wants that money rather than you helping with something, even if you could. Like, I say the company needed somebody to host websites, you could easily host websites for them, but they won't want it. They just rather the money. It's kind of like that. Oh, so somebody told me like most companies are just Ponzi schemes or pyramid schemes. They just keep shifting money around, make it look like they've got money. If I generate this speech, this is a book on coinage. I mean, right? Yeah, the 3 coins and understanding of coins. Which 11 Labs should actually generate this rather well. Of it. I pause music. Audio control stuff. Graph. Behave. Okay, no, things jumping around there. Oh wait, that's good though. We don't want good though. We're trying to get this. I like that. This. Gotcha. We'll chuck this in. Other behaves itself. Oh my god, it's jumping everywhere. Which means now I gotta play one that's. Yeah, so the character's supposed to be upper class snotty. Sort of idea. Where the heck is it? Aha.
Readers of this book may never so much as glimpse a Gura, let alone possess.
Right, there we go. If I somehow figure out how to check this to start. So this is 3 coinage, unsigned coinage. It's by a banker, like I said. A banker who's a bit of a word that rhymes with him.
The 3 coins, an understanding of our coinage. Most in this country will be familiar with the coins we trade with, though few possess the education to understand the history and meaning behind them. For those who do not, and it would surprise me greatly if such a person has the literacy to be reading this, the matter is quite simple. There are but 3 coins of proper use, namely the Gura, the Sirs, and the ever-present Cern. While most readers of this book may never so much as glimpse a Gura, let alone possess one, it remains commonplace among the wealthy. Fashioned of a yellowish metal, it shines nobly in the light. One should aspire to hold a few, even if one's station in life renders such aspirations fanciful. The Sirs, by contrast, is a worthy coin to handle. Once it served as an offering to the gods, reflecting a pure silver light upon the altar. Now it is the coin of knowledge, sound trade, respectable lodging, and decent meals. It is the coin most folk shall possess in respectable quantity, and for many, it is the true measure of comfort. And then there is the Cern, a coin the color of dirt, and as unremarkable as the people who trade in it. It passes ceaselessly among the less fortunate, those ever struggling to get by. Though I myself seldom deal in such base coin, I maintain a necessary sum in my accounts, for even the lowest coin has its place as the foundation of society, much as mud lies beneath stone. To be seen with Cern in abundance, however, is no mark of honor. Indeed, the word itself is used as an insult. Now, as to the meaning behind these names, it is quite straightforward, at least for those of us who possess the knowledge and refinement to recall such matters. Gura, a rare coin, its name drawn from the wealth it confers. To possess Gura in sufficient quantity is to place the world within reach. Sirs, this coin takes its name from its sacred use as offering to the god Salori, once worshipped widely, and still by a few pious folk who believe donation buys salvation. The Sirs remains a symbol of respectable wealth. Cern, the lowest of the 3, named from Cernuus, once a term of insult toward the less fortunate. To hold Cern is to be of...
Okay, that's interesting. It cut off there. Why did it cut off? Or is that because that's just that one?
The 3 coins. An understanding of our coin. The 3 coins as offering to the god Salori, once worshipped widely, and still by a few pious folk who believe donation buys salvation. The Sirs remains a symbol of respectable wealth. Cern, the lowest of the 3, named from Cernuus, once a term of insult toward the less fortunate. To hold Cern is to be of...
Yes, it cuts off there. Maybe if I just go bye-bye to this section and then tell this to continue here. Generate. Yeah, as you can see, I'm sort of building the world up as like this.
The lowest of the 3, named from Cernuus, once a term of insult toward the less fortunate. To hold cern is to be of no consequence. To be seen with too many is to risk one's reputation. Thus do the 3 coins define not only our commerce, but our very society. For as with wealth, so with people. The golden gura rules, the silver sirs sustains, and the copper cern clings at the bottom.
Yeah, that's essentially that's the book sort of from this man. You can kind of get his personality where he sees the world differently from most people. See, I think the book's okay for where it takes place. Like, this is just like a book on a shelf you can read. If you care anything about the history of sort of. For me, it was like, how would you name a coin? How would like common folk name a coin? So Cernius for a god. Well, if you're always offering, you'd want to offer the highest currency you've got to the church for the nations. So you'd probably use the silver coin you've got, because obviously common folk won't have the gold, they would have the cern. So they would probably end up using a shorter term for that coin to give to God. So let's see here. I've donated some cern to Cernius or whatever. If that makes sense. They're kind of shortening, they're calling the coin after the god, but they've shortened it from that because that's the way it works. At least from my experiences. Then what was good? Cern, I forgot what it's like supposed to be a term for. I don't remember now because this is why I wrote this. It was either a term to refer to slavery in the world or term of dirt, actual soil, dirt. I believe it's that one. And they call that's, and it was used as an insult from the richer people to the poorer. And the poor the poor people not understanding this would take the understanding of they must be talking about the coin, not me. So they took the name into meaning that about coin rather than the person. The rich not intelligent enough to notice that would just continue calling people that. And then eventually these words get adopted after so many centuries into the actual language of the name of the coins. I do have the math for this, the coins. I need to adjust the maths. His idea is, in the game, you'll probably be able to rack up a good chunk of silver, but not gold. Gorna? Gora. That's it. Gura. Gura, I believe it's it. Yeah, that's sort of like higher one. I believe it actually translates in Latin. What do you think of that book so far? I don't mind adjusting it. Adjusted. Hey, Lily or Sniper, you're still there. I don't know why it's off.
Sniper Heartwolf says, yes.
I think it's a good book so far. I've got the next one.
Sniper Heartwolf says, I want to play.
I am trying my best to get a demo level out. It's not going to be complete. It's just going to be sort of like a beta.
Says, I want to be a beta tester.
Oh yeah, I'll happily let everybody into a beta tester. I don't mind it. It'll give me good feedback. I'll try and get into like a nice. I'm trying my fastest to get into like an alpha state where I could say like, here, Jeepus, here's the game. I want you to evaluate it. Tell me if it's okay. Like maybe proof scripts. I know he doesn't do GD script very much at all, actually. I think he only knows a bit. Again, he could probably chuck it into AI and have it translated. But yeah, the first book doesn't quite give you the guy's personality, but what is it? Oh, that's Cursed Equipment. That's not quite done. Actually, I don't think I've even started that one. I haven't. Where is it? On the Paying of Debts. There it is. The idea is like these books would be like the ones you'd find in like The Witcher, where you go around to find a book. I have to decide how to do the book in game. Like I have to design like a book, physical screen. How was it going to pop up on your screen? I have a vague idea. Vague. Good thing about doing it this way is it doesn't confuse Flomu. I think Flomu still has it. Also, I have no idea why Flomu read the what you call the GitHub repo link like that. Here, I'll play it again, the GitHub one.
GitHub.com, Minecraft bots, Minecraft.
I don't know why she did that. It's just the way she works sometimes. So, maybe that's why. Where can I split this though? Here, maybe a spot. Oh, those near perfect spots, but I think she stopped halfway before because she'd hit
On
the cap.
the paying of debts. Debts, of course, are a fact of life in this land as in others. Yet I must say, we handle them here in a far more civilized and reasonable fashion. In this part of my book, I shall instruct you, dear reader, on how we manage debt in our fine realm, so that you may know what awaits should you ever be foolish enough to fall into it. Within the smaller towns and villages, it appears one may discharge a debt with surprising ease, merely by offering a trinket, perhaps a spell tome, a sword from one's collection, or even something as plain as a book. To me, and most likely to you as well, this seems odd. Why place such weight on these baubles and wipe away debts with them, rather than sell them properly to the highest bidder? You may wonder how I know of such matters of the lower class. Well, I too have had occasion to pass through these smaller settlements on my way to more important destinations. And from these encounters, I have learned something of how such lesser places conduct themselves in business. I recall once finding myself obliged to stop at a village whose name escapes me. Not that it matters, for such a place could scarcely survive without the proper knowledge of money. Wandering into its little market, the stench of which was most offensive, I happened upon a book for sale at the absurdly low price of 16 sirs, a mere fraction of its true value. Suspecting it damaged or cursed, I inquired further. To my surprise, the seller informed me that it was being sold to settle a customer's debt. Seeing my opportunity, I purchased the book, naturally to assist a fellow businessman, of course, and later sold it in the city for a most agreeable profit.
Yeah, so that's the first half. There is another half here. I just have to cut it in half for 11 laps to read the whole thing. But I can explain this section if people want. So essentially being that it isn't so it's not really neat necessarily, but it might be what I'm writing it. It's supposed to be that he's essentially happy that he can make a profit off this person's suffering, because in his mind it's trying to make the reader see it as he's helping the person when in reality he doesn't care about that market at all. He just wants that. He knows he can make a profit, and that's what he cares about from that story essentially of his one. So this is the rest of it. I don't know why it didn't fit. I should have.
Now, you may think one encounter proves little, or that this was merely chance, but trust me when I say I know what I am talking about. Allow me to recount another tale on the matter, one which continues to perplex me, and perhaps even taught the collector involved a lesson. I once overheard two villagers in conversation, one confessing he owed the other a mere sum of 11 zurs. From their unkempt appearance, I judged them farmers. To my astonishment, rather than securing a proper agreement, the creditor simply accepted the man's word. Such a thing would never be seen in any respectable arrangement, where only written bond and proper witness can safeguard the sum. But enough of these rustic curiosities. Let us turn now to a more civilized way of handling debt, one which makes sense, and which ought to be upheld as the proper standard among all decent folk. Here in the capital, the process is quite simple to understand. To pay one's debt, one sells off a portion of one's assets, preferably at auction. For to rely on the goodwill of others in such matters is to display financial weakness, and that is a stain no respectable person should bear. In the event that a debtor cannot repay what is owed, the collector is fully entitled to sell the debtor's possession.
Not get the rest. A section's missing. How's that happened? I'm gonna go try and find that somewhere. But yeah, there's supposed to be another section there on essentially how in the higher class areas you would either sell the person's assets, and if their assets don't cover the total cost, you have the right to sell the person who owes you money as a slave to reimburse yourself, or imprison them for however long until the debt's paid off. It's because it's supposed to sort of show the two sides of the world, where you've got the side of the common folk, where they happily agree upon certain things for stuff, like maybe they can't afford their debt, but they'll have to give away a sword or something, and they place more value on the item. Like how some people place more of a value on life than others. But this time with like items, like a memorabilia to you is worth more than like the actual value of the item. Like if you have, like, I don't know, a cup that somebody gave you, like, I don't know, grand or something, that cup has a sentimental value. So in the lower districts, it's seen as acceptable as a payment because you're also sacrificing the emotional value of the item. Whereas in the richer areas, it's not the case. They see only value, not emotion. And that's sort of the idea these books are supposed to get over from this character. I haven't named him. I should name him and put it in there so that people know that it's the same character. I can't for the life of me think of a name. Because it takes me a while to think of things. If I paste this in to get fixed, there. Let's have it loads. Oh no, Dungeon Heart. We are looking for books. Oh no, Carpet Hat. No, I still need to do that. Oh. Or no, wait, no, yeah, Loria. Let's see here. Paying of one's debts. So wait, where are we on here? I copied this. And search for that in here. Ah, it did cut out a section, at least 3 paragraphs worth. Grab them. Done. Yeah, so I need to put this in there. I have no idea how this section got cut out of the book. Could be due to that, but I don't know. Let me update my book then. Let's see, we go to work, project, no, yeah. Yeah, programming, game dev, go. Docs, then we books of lore, paying of one's debts. Oh, see, it's in this book. I know. Oh, is that what happened? I bet that's what happened. So, 11 Labs have a character limit, apparently. I think what's happened is I pasted the whole complete original text. It only went to 3,000 characters and cut the rest, and then I cut that in half to get the fitting. I'll do is I'll paste this here. In the event of a debtor's can't be paid. There we go, right, we'll generate this one. Yeah, so that's just my speed.
In the event that a debtor cannot repay what is owed, the collector is fully entitled to sell the debtor's possession at auction without the debtor's consent. Indeed, any reputable collector will see to it that such sales are turned to profit. Should even this fail to cover the amount, then the debtor himself may be sold into slavery. This, of course, is not always the most profitable path, for there are those foolish enough to purchase such wretches and then set them free, depriving the debtor of a much-needed lesson. Thus, the alternative, and in many cases the superior option, is imprisonment. There, the debtor may serve his time, reflecting on his failings, while society is spared his disorder. It is, in the end, a far more suitable deterrent, and a reminder that one must respect the coin above all else.
Yeah, there. That's the section was cut out. Hopefully that makes sense of the rest of the book and doesn't sort of. Because originally this was one whole book, and I decided to split it up into. Why it starts a bit funny. That was it. He like talks about this as my yeah. Essentially for this is ChatGPT is rather good for this because it's a language model. You just need to tell it how to write the book, and oh my god, you have to. Essentially, I call it slapping. It's not really. You keep correcting the AI. I have to keep doing that. Essentially, I have to tell it to not make up things that aren't in meant. Because I write the whole book, essentially. Then I just spell mistakes and all and chuck it in ChatGPT. It figures out what I tried to write. I also include like a paragraph of what I'm trying to get over, like what type of character this person is, how it's supposed to come over to the reader. The AI can then go, okay, well, just that, and then of course I read out, make sure it still complies with what I want. If it doesn't, I go correct the area. Which, as long as you keep doing it, it's not a pain. It's all. It's just one of the steps you gotta do. But it guarantees like a nice audio. Like, it comes over grammatically correct and makes sense of the character. Like you're not just suddenly switching character midway through. It's able to say keep the consistency character. The one it keeps having issue with is the cursed armor. I gave that story as an example to the character design, and asked it to give me some ideas to use. Just sort of generate like a book, and I don't want. I want like ideas for the book. But then I'm not too sure how I'm gonna have. I'm working on a bestiaries sort of thing, like The Witcher has. This is sort of like Beasts of the Elder Isles. This is the area of the game you're playing in. I did pick this for a reason. It's because if you may not remember, I was doing a RPG Minecraft server called The Elder Mistyles. Never got around to actually doing it, and because I had to do so much work, essentially building a game up from scratch there. So I sort of put that on the back burner and never touched it again. I think I've still got the Discord group. It's private now. Not group, chat room. That's still there. But I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm not returning to this. So here's
Sniper Heartwolf
the name.
says, yes.
Like, oh, you remember it? I'm almost sure if anybody would. But yeah, I got that, so I'm using that name because I'm like, I might as well use the name. It took me ages to think of that. play this because I like try and put story behind words like names. Like this character, I am not all too sure. Because I do have actually, I see here Tales of Cursed Equipment. This is the one that's not done. This I've not even started this one because I'm still trying to think how it works for that character. Because I'm trying to build a character in my mind of the writer of the book, and then have them sort of play them writing the book. Because if I was them, how would I write it? And then obviously then I took into ChatGPT to fine tune spelling and stuff. And yeah, my spelling's atrocious. Like horribly bad. No, I'm trying to think of like an example of how bad it'd be. I don't know, because a high school of speaking a different language come correct, but then that not quite. Or be like people learning another language for the first time. That's my current spelling of English words. It's not that good. I try my best. I do get most of them correct. But it's just that the text editor I use, Kate, does not have spelling correction. It's more for programming. Works for text document. It's just that I also don't have any dictionary set on this computer. Discord, I think, uses its own dictionary. But you mainly use Grammarly for most of the stuff, but then checking ChatGPT, this also gets the what's the word? Grammar correct. Because I forget my commas. I do. I'm getting better at it, actually. I do still need to work on the other books, which are... So that's the book. So we have The Way of the Adventurer, which is supposed to be a book to help people on adventuring that. You've got, obviously, another book, which is sort of a... I'm trying to think of how to phrase it. It's like a... The title of the book is How the Nobles Got Rich. The idea of that being like some from common folk view on the nobles. Yeah, so it's like sort of like a conspiracy person. Something like that. They believe in conspiracy theories and that. So they might. I'll try and avoid like racist statements in the book for obvious reasons. But this character would be like this person got this money because they're like, rather than understanding that some people can make money, this person just assumes everybody's given money. And that they've not been given, they don't get given money, and that's why they're downtrodden. It'd be equivalent of like a book being written on scraps of paper, somehow getting published. That's that. And like a Wastelander's Guide to Survival, I think it is. The Fallout. That's my idea for that book, but more conspiracy theories than anything. But then you've got like after that, we've got the History of Dungeons, which is 3 books. I plan for each one's going to sort of be like for different themes. Like one be theory, sort of like how the dungeon works. There was a good anime I watched to explain dungeons. Idea of how it works, ecosystem. Being like every level of dungeon is its own ecosystem, and each one sort of helps the other. You wipe out one population in one area, then that's a food source for another animal. Another creature that can't feed there and has to go somewhere else for its food. Stuff like that being there. Then the more proper book be from the how the nobles got rich. This one is a short history of noble families. This is going to be a book that will tell the player a bit about some of the nobles within the town. Which will probably only be like one or two to help you build up an idea of who they are. Because obviously it's not. I'm not trying to make all the noble rich people arseholes. I make them relatable somewhat to real people. I am planning references. I will say that I am planning references. I might, maybe I'll put an AI somewhere, like a little AI core that can't quite be explained, called Lily. Oh, yeah, no, that'd be a good idea too. It'd be an AI called Lily, and it just sort of spews out standard tech support stuff. Have you tried turning it off and on again? Is it plugged in? Or maybe I'll do a magic rock. I could do magic potato. Just spews nonsense out. Well, nonsense to the folk of that world. Not nonsense to us, the player. We'd get the jokes, references to stuff. Magic potato calling itself Lily. Maybe that might work. Would you like to be a potato, Lily?
Well, Sniper Heartwolf says, yet. Sniper Heartwolf says, yay. Sniper Heartwolf says, lol.
I think I could do that. That should be, because this is sort of dialogue stuff. It wouldn't necessarily impact gameplay, not much code. It's just more or less interaction with it. Magic potato, a little magic potato you interact with, and it just tells you tech support stuff. Which I might get. No, I don't know. I don't know if I should get Lily to tell me like some very short stories about it and then implement them as lines. So that way then if her co-worker plays the game, they might recognize the story and then ask Lily. But then I don't know if I want to do that because then Lily's not got to deal with that in work. But again, at the same time, the likelihood of that happening is rather slim. Yeah, pair of debts. Tales of Chris Equipment, where we went over. Adventurer's Guide to Finding Work. This is an idea of a book of telling you, the player, how you could find work if you need. In reality, I don't think we'll have that. I might have a quest system set up. Somebody was talking about that earlier. Maybe a good idea to do. But I'm not 100% sure on how I'm going to write this book. But it's the idea to be like, it is from the point of view of a seasoned adventurer helping out newer adventurers on what to do. Might start off like saying, like I know you're new to the adventuring game and want to go straight away fighting, wyverns and what? Wyverns, ents, and I'm trying to think of other heavy hitter bosses, things. Or clear entire dungeons. So it might be like that. Start off that, but then it's saying it's like whilst you may want to do that, it'd be better for a newer adventure of your caliber to, or of a new adventure to start off on the easier quests, perhaps gathering herbs or helping an old lady find their bucket. I feel like that's a good one. I might make that a quest. But when I get to that point of like doing quests and stuff, I'll have it easy. Hopefully, if I do the system correct, which should just be goals and stuff. And the newest book being Beasts of the Elder Isles. So far I've got some of that. It's not properly done. I haven't even checked spelling, and spelling might be atrocious. I've gone up to ghouls and stuff, and I got some notes in this document, so yeah, it is not done. So like, even there, I can see a misspelling there. I've got T in order rather than, yeah, there. So like in this book, it mentions stuff like wyverns being smaller than the mainland counterparts, but this is like it also, I think I explained. Not reading the whole section because I've got to stop and read it. But essentially them being smaller because it's an island, not mainland, and can't get Then I've got things like going on about the slimes and how there's 2 types. So the player can read this, learn about the slime, learn about also, like, hopefully from this I could also include stuff like weaknesses. Because it's sort of written in the first person view from this person writing it. The reason why it's a rough edition right now is because I've just sort of planned. I'm just sort of noting stuff down as I come up with them for the creatures. And this is going to be more accurate to how they're programmed. Right. I'm trying to think, do I need to explain anything else about the game? So hopefully I can, like, copy most of this down, or at least send Jeebus the clip and then he can watch it. You'll know. Might not do it on the stream, but at least then he'll have an idea. Because he was interested in it. He did ask me, like, if I get to the stage where I can share the game, let him know. I've got now 2 beta tests as well. An alpha tester and a beta tester. Still 2 beta testers. One of the recent scripts I've been working. Pain in the butt. Where are we? Main scripts are here. Spawn areas, no. World clock here. This was a nightmare to do. Because I had to fix an area. I think I commented it. Reasonable speed. So here. Yeah, here. Yeah. Took 3 different GPT chats to fix this issue in this one. I can't remember what I put on. Fix this. So do not change it. That's a note for both. Anytime I have to copy this to something, because AI keeps wanting to change something that it doesn't need to. Essentially got to a point where I have to keep telling it, here, this function, this is where you're working. Don't. If it doesn't exist in that function, don't create it. Essentially, if I had to, this is what the bit was the pain in the butt to do. Because it kept trying to output this stuff here in yellow, so it's got the colon time. It kept trying to do it as a string. I need it as an integer. I need the numbers, not the letters. So in programming, numbers and letters are different. You get letter numbers. Numbers are letters. You can't do anything with it, and you get the actual integer, which is the number for number parts, so you can actually do maths. Yeah, we've got that. I was overthinking it, and the AI was keep trying to get me to use strings because it knew my idea, but it wasn't quite there. This big convoluted math section as well. And I realized when looking through the stats cards, we've got vector 2s and vector 3s. I need to store the time in a readable format. Because there's 2 clocks in the game. There's the float clock. This is the code clock, essentially. It doesn't. If I needed just to be like 8:30 in the morning or 25. Well, not necessarily 25, because that's like a quarter. So yeah, so it'll be something like that anyway. For past an hour or whatever, like 5.25, whatever. Or 5.75. 1/4 or quarter past. It depends what you're doing. Anyway, that's for the less precise clock. This is just for like random events that need to happen at certain times of day. So like maybe dungeon changeover. And then you got the precise clock, which is they should be synchronized. There's nothing keeping them synced. I haven't done anything to keep them synced. It's just it should be. They're close enough to stay synced. They're not perfectly synced. There's some deviation, but it's not enough to cause issues because it corrects itself as it comes up. The precise clock is fine. That works. No problem. We've also got up the top here a lot of variables, a lot of exports. So I think, is it this one? Yeah, these are our controls. We can get the time, we can get the exact time. So get time is hours, minutes. Get exact time is hour, minutes, and seconds. Don't necessarily need that, but to have it handy because you may need something. If you need to synchronize a timer, with the game time than you can. Get time flow. Already talked about that. That's the float time. That'd like be. So 0 is midnight, obviously. 1 would be 1 a.m. 1.5 would be 1:30, and so on. 17, I think, would be that's 5 p.m. Yes. Is daytime. That's a similar thing, but it's far more basic. It just takes the whenever I decide day and night is like I can shift that. If I decide to add seasons in, which I might add seasons, I haven't decided yet because I want to try to get the game done before I start adding stuff I don't need. Like that's what I've done. I was originally going to create a whole calendar sort of season system in this. Then I had to push myself back to say no. Basic clock is what we need to do. A basic clock. So this is why some things around here aren't used. We've got set day, which is the date. Use we'll have this integer. That'll be like day of the month. Years I'm not decided because these are things I have to then decide in lore what they're called, how they work. Because it could be in their world, every month has exactly 4 weeks in it, and a week consists of 5 days. So that'd be what, 20 days a month? Again, it all depends. We've also got game speed at the top here, but stop time. This is solely to the purpose of pausing the game. The timers and clocks don't continue. But we could also hook AIs into this to say to check is time stopped sort of thing. Or at least get stop time status. Got set time again. That's the same reason it is we need to at some point maybe set the time. That wasn't too bad to set up, but it require a bit of extra work because I wasn't too sure how best to implement it, and because essentially this exact time, like it says, pain in the butt to do. It's not that it's a pain to set up. It's how I designed the clock. Most people accept the fact that you're gonna have 24 hours in a day, but my clock's altered to have you be able to choose how many hours are in the day. So that's how it works. Yeah. So I had to. It's why it took ages because most timers come from 0 up. I had to know where to stop. I have to then divide from the total hours in a day, and then sort of work backwards. Why I don't understand most of the math here and outputted current hours, current minutes, current seconds. I kind of just, like it gave. In reality, these equal to. I could rename these variables to these. This kind of helps us setting the clock as well. This script's a pain. I hope not need to fix the clock bit. We've got that. They are the sort of settings. These are things we don't touch here. Clock debug. I have renamed all my debugs to be sort of the script name thing is then underscore debug, because if they're colliding now with each other when I'm debugging. Like say if I'm debugging player and for some reason it interacts with the enemy script, it's now activating the enemy script's debug, and I have to then go deactivate it. Yeah, up at the top, these are our exported. These are what we set. Got use game speed. This is maybe if I have like game speed set to I think currently 15, which comes up to about a minute a second, which so far works okay for most testing. I've left it as that for now. But yeah, we've got that. Hours in day. I should be able to attach this script to a clock node, or just an empty node, and use that as a clock. Be able to set settings. Reality, I don't need to do that because it should be fine. That's what our export does, by the way. That's why it shows up in the inspector on the right here. Game speed, obviously how fast the game goes, hours and day. This was the one that was causing issue with the clock. Because, you know, I could set this to 16 hours a day, then the clock will automatically adjust to fit in with 16 hours. I was going to have the minutes and that split up evenly between that. I decided against it because it's... yeah. So this just adjusts how many hours are within a day. Start of day, end of day. This is in the 24-hour format. It uses the float time. Same with hours and day. This is one of the reasons we have float. This works out so. Again, we don't need precise the time of saying morning is 8:01. Say morning is 8 or half 8 or whatever. But we don't need to be bang on precise. Although we can be bang on precise. Yeah, this stream was originally doing art, and now I've got this because I thought, oh, this will be a quick talk. We've got test enemies. I'm not going to go too much through the enemies, codes, and scripts. This is just one of the scripts we've had that was being. What did I change? I changed it. Close these. I'm not working on that. Working on that. Oh, this is how we call clocks, by the way. This whole script does that job. Except this if statement. This if statement is a test. Essentially, this if statement's currently getting the current time and adding 6 hours onto it. Well, 3 hours into it. No, this one's doing 6. Wait, get time. Hours, minutes, yeah. We do need to grab minutes just because otherwise we desync it. Do that. Also, the set time requires both hours and minutes to set. This is uses exact time. That's why we have exact time to set the clock properly. This is other times we need that. I could have used float time. That was the original plan. But then I thought of times of like, well, what happens if the player sleeps at 6 or 8 or 5, whatever. They're not gonna wake up at exactly 8. Because then they could abuse that system to bypass some stuff, and I thought, you know, avoid that. It might not. This is what the AI was getting confused on how. Because originally I was emitting signals in Godot to say, so like every minute it would say, this is the time, this is the time, this is the time. That was messing it up because you couldn't call it properly within this. So this is a class. There are 2 classes technically for clock. That's because it works out easier. Otherwise, I've got to change a lot of code to fix it. Not a lot. I think section 10 lines or something, and I don't want to do that. I've already fixed the clock enough. I wanted to get onto the actual bit, which is this one. The spawn areas. Slime, spawn area, stats card we don't need. This is one I was currently working on. This on the right here, spawnable entities. I think this was called. Did I go with that? Oh, enemies, not entities. Spawnable enemies. This is a list here. Should be, but it doesn't. Not all too fast. Like I said, I'm getting this in the testing phase. It kind of works. I had it doing it the Godot icon first. Now it's actually spawning the actual enemies. I'm using UIDs. It works better because it doesn't matter where I put it. It knows what I'm using. Was going to use the pass, but I thought, well, what if I name it? Or what if I realise I've misspelt slime and I've been using a misspelling of slime constantly.
Yeah.
Or if I constantly misspell the word wyvern. Oh. Yeah, we'll go with that. It kind of works, it's okay. Right now it's spawning one. We need to spawn multiple. This is where the there it is. We've got spawn cap total and spawn cap per mob. This confuses the AI. Because right now we're only spawning slimes, but we've got a cap of 10. What's confusing GPT is it's thinking, occasionally it thinks, oh, we need to spawn 10 slimes. We only need to spawn 5. If we had slimes and test enemies, we'd spawn 10. Because because the cap is per mob. I haven't decided where. I think I'm going to make it pick up a list from its enemies or whatever it's going to randomly. Chest mimics, I have an idea for their AI. So they'll spawn in randomly, but then they'll find an area of the map that they enjoy. Go there, sit there, and then put down their marker. So enemies have a marker that's not coded in the setup yet. It's a sort of a home wander spot. Like this is like their area, this is their territories. They can share territories with team members, but not other clans. Which actually, being in clans, that reminds me of the bit of the history being about the wolves. It's supposed to be the wolves are one large, massive pack, but they appear to be multiple separate packs. They adapted to operate as one large pack because it makes it easier for hunting. If that makes sense, you know. I'm trying to explain as much of the mechanics as I can. So spawn area 2D, these are just how we call stuff in Godot. Rather than doing dollar sign, collision shape 2D, spawn container. Spawn container should, if I remember how it works, is it sort of places this down somewhere for the enemy, and then the enemy spawns there. I'm not too sure. I have to try and remember this now. But yeah. That's how most of the script works. Try to get back to the art. Actually, I'm looking at the icons, the cursor, they're actually okay. Get back to the art. This vector. Here's the art. This is what we're working. I've got a big long 2.5 hours, maybe? Maybe? I don't know. I rambled quite a bit there, didn't I? I apologise. So we've got the heart icon, the mana icon, the hunger icon, the cursors. Technically I haven't decided which one to go with, but for example, this might be the main cursor you select stuff in game with, and then this cursor on the right is selection, like throwing spells or targeting sort of thing. I need to ask Jeebus how he did some of his AI, because he had ones that could predict paths, and I might need to ask him about that. But yeah, I only put that symbol on because we needed something. It's looking silly empty. But, works out fine. We should be now on to water one again. Like I said, I'm not too sure we're going to do what we do have quest icons as well to do. That was brought up. And if we do a quest system, we'll need icons to signify it. What shall we use for quest icons? Want a simple exclamation mark? Skyrim uses, I think, is it cursor? Skyrim uses just angled. No, I mean. Go ahead and go do that. I think for the water sack, because we're going to do a sack for water. Yeah. Can anybody else? So this blue one. This is the mana icon. Does this look like a poop? Like if you were to add like little curly lines around the edges here, like that.
Sniper Heartwolf says, Sniper 492 love.
Because like when I originally designed it, it kind of came out like that, and then I had to correct it.
Sniper Heartwolf says, I like it.
But I was thinking of animating it rotating, but I'm not too sure if we need animate rotate. The heart looks good. I like the heart. The heart is 100% okay. It's 3 colors. 1, 2, 3. And then we'll obviously just do half. This was originally going to be split down the middle, but it looked too precise. Sort of too flat. So adding that sort of curve helped it. I did have the curve a bit steeper, but it looked a bit, not a bit steeper. It was like this. That didn't look so well. Obviously red, not black. Then we had this one. This is the empty. So you can see in the UI earlier, we've got only a single heart shows up and then its health bar. When the health bar gets half full, we're going to switch to this heart. Empty, it's going to be a heart. Mana is going to work the same. We've got 4 stages for that. Obviously, we've got the full. What does that be? 25. That'd be 100, 75, 50, 25. Wait. Yeah. I should probably put a 0 in there. But at the same time, I'm afraid if I put a 0, it's going to look like a poop. Hunger bar, it's okay. I like the hunger. Hunger's not too bad. Originally, it was just going to be full hunger and the bone. But when I was doing that, I thought, why don't we just do a bite out of it? So I tried my best to make a bite mark out of the chicken leg. Or turkey leg or piece of meat. It's some sort of meat. That's all we know. We don't know what it is. It could be anything. It could be a bicep from a person. We don't know. It's a bit. Just a bit of meat. We're not caring too much about accuracy here because, well, look, the bone ends there. I guess you can see the meat was chopped and the bone split in half. Excuse. Curses. I don't know. I like the gold, but the yellow at least. I don't know. I mean, I could try different ones. If I do anything right now, this is going to happen. Because we're on a different layer. See if I remember how to brush. Increase its size a bit. S. That'll be fine. So, boop, boop, boop. And then we sort of just like that. You know, that kind of looks like a stomach to me. And then I sort of shade it in as I need it. So is this one? Yes, that one. But this one. Then we can darken up the areas we needed. Do like that. That maybe. Give me that these weeks. We want a silver top because that's gonna be like head. And then for emptying it, we could just sort of squish it down. Because again, if you think technology-wise, they would not be advanced enough to have balls. Or at least balls would probably be used for something else. Copy that. Oops. Rush. Why does it look like a steak? Hmm. Maybe? That look a bit better. Bit more visible, I'll give you that. Obviously, and then we empty, we can thin this top bit up. Brush. Boop. That. Actually, that mistake might be there. Sort of. Times when you want the line to be thick, and times when you. It looks like a bit of, it still looks meaty. What colours would you? Is either A, change this colour, or B, change this colour. This two states already would have to change. That's what 6 colours. Well, no.
Sniper Heartwolf says, I like those.
Which ones? The steaks, the hunger bar. Yeah. That one's got a nice bite of it. Num num nums.
Sniper Heartwolf says, yes.
But we don't know what they're from, what animal or person. We have just meat. Vegetable meat. I don't think. Was it? If I did this, this is going to look more meaty. Oh, wait, what if. Maybe. What if it used this color? Yeah, this stands out a bit more. Tiny icon wise. Maybe if we make the spout a bit bigger. Or maybe I like this. Ah! Oop. With the outline, the spout looks more distinct. That's good. Don't need outline just yet. Otherwise, way too bright. We were beginning to sort of run this effect, aren't we? What if I change the color of the glass? But again, leather can sometimes be darker. It looks like a. I'm getting potato vibes. Will this be secretly a potato? Why are we putting secret potatoes in the game now? I blame Sniper. Sniper's making us put secret potatoes everywhere. Mm. That looks okay. Well, we got okay for that. Maybe a bit, a bit dark. Ah, wrong one. That one. That's the. Oops. That's different enough from that. Right. I need to find that shortcut that adds the auto outline to things. We'll probably want shade lighter. A little bit lighter. Perfect. Section. Then we then copy this over here to be deflated. And we deflate it more.
Sniper Heartwolf says, what is that's one?
This is a water flask. Supposed to be.
Sniper Heartwolf says, is.
It looks a bit potatoey because apparently you're making me put secret potatoes everywhere.
Sniper Heartwolf says, oh, I thought was a steak lol.
You see what I'm saying?
Sniper Heartwolf says,
Trying to
I'm
leather.
blind lol.
I'm trying to do like a leather color, but I can't get quite a good leather color. I'm trying different color. How would pink look? Pink looks too bright. It looks a bit sticky. Now it looks like a kidney. See, up close it looks okay, but far, that steak look. Even if it's like a oops. Hang on. Brush. Okay. I got it. I press Control B again and then escape. Anyway, I could make this wider down here. Down to here. Still looks it would still look a bit steakish, but it would look more full. An issue now, don't we? Look steaky, do we not? I think right now it's just color read. Press M for selection, zoom out a bit. C. Oh, Control V. Move. Hold Alt to jump it. Red. Red work? It's okay, but it's still a bit steakish. If you know what I mean. Could try this work. It's too grey. What is it? Blue? Let me Google leather color. Google leather color. Google the word leather color. Not Google the word Google leather color. Oh, there's. What I. I think right. About. Ah. That one. And we edit the color. Up here. Here we go. Hey, where'd the stakes go? The stakes, oh, no. Water flasks. Disappeared somehow, and... Oh, it's just this color. It's a slightly darker version. Color? What is this color? So this is one of the leather colors we choose. We're going to choose a darker one. I don't do nothing. Right, well, that'll be fine. Well, oh, I forgot to play the music again, didn't I? My bad. Not that I'll pay attention to. It don't matter too much for a thingy. Oh, it's cooked steakish. From those lines. Before, after. A bit better. We need to lighten that color.
Sniper Heartwolf says, it looks better R.
Yeah. Oh, we're getting there. Well, we're getting there. We're starting to look good. This. Oh, ah, no, that's eraser. Pop, 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 pop. Popto, popto. I'm gonna make these like dark. Maybe it's this is the issue. Racist mistake, actually. A little steakish, but not quite there. Not as bad as before, where it was clearly getting confused as a steak. Uh, Maybe if we color it in blue. Darker blue. It does pop out more with the actual border, so let's add that in. And somehow remember how to we do actually do this border faster. Got a border, I'm pretty sure it's an outline. Maybe actually if we round this bomb bit out. Anger man, can use to tell. Heart can use to tell. Bit pale in that background is all. So select this one. Can't quite tell, but yeah. Blue up a bit more. Yeah. I think this line needs to go up. No. There. Take these two. Hmm. Could work. This is going to be now deflating it. Possible.
Sniper Heartwolf says, yup.
It definitely looks, it looks less steakish now. I think we're good. We D V then Alt. No, Alt. Select Alt. There you go. Order. So there should be an easier way of doing this. Can't find. I know it exists. I just can't remember the controls for a sprite. That should make it pop a bit more. A little breadish. A little bit like bread. A little bit like bread. They're okay though, I think. The hard part is I'll shrink this a bit. That would be the best option I would. Give it a try, we'll find out. Maybe. Maybe that easier idea actually. I really want to know this. Let's see here. Menu, edit, keyboard shortcuts. Okay, sorry. Edix FX. Ah! I guess I kind of messed this up. This gives me a chance to. How it looks. Not that I think thirst will play a mechanic in the game, but you never know. Starting to turn a bit into a loaf. It's a bit into a loaf, isn't it? Cursors and icons are perfect. They're spot on, although they may be this big. Don't know, I might have to heal them down somehow. However, I figure out what to do the GUI scaling properly. Somewhere along that line, maybe. Because currently the GUI is a fixed size. Just scale the GUI correctly to the screen resolution. So the game only goes up to a certain size and then just sort of expands your field of view. And stuff out. Not too sure how. I have an idea. Brand. That looks okay. Is this rotate? Wah. Why would that exist? Oops. Movie. Forget. I should not be messing too much of this, should I? We squish this a bit. That. That would just fix the area coloring more. Then we're erasing that and that. That. Or keep that same that height here and just go along that. Anybody else see that? A slug with a blue hat, a blue police light on his head. That's what I see. Wonder if anyone else sees that. Oh, notifications there. So there is a way to quickly outline objects, but darned if I'm going to look for it. But I don't know. Wow, they blend. Oh, they blend in. That is an illusion and a half. Are those outlines on the left one black or are they brown? They come out because those colors are close enough. Your brain seems like, even here, to me, my eyes, they match this. That's weird. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, that looks okay. Wait. This maybe. Am I saying done? Yes. Ah, good. Let's see. Where are we? So we will raid out. Wait, where are they live? They're live. Don't know if they're. Oh, they're not. There's another game dev one. He's doing a sort of pirate kid game. He plays like the kid with imagination going along with pirate as a pirate. So the game's not super serious stuff, you know, it's just more fun. It's a sort of story game as well. But they're not live. We will, however, read out to Tech. He's still alive. Because I've been training for a bit. I usually try and aim for an hour or two.
Lizard underscore on underscore 240 says, cheap viewers on streamboo.com. Remove the space at 3FOYW2K8.
Ah, wrong button. Wrong chat, I mean. Select. There you go. There we go. Just ban them upright. Oh, we're not having that there. Yeah, we're going to raid Techie. You probably know Tech right now, maybe. Just good stuff. Thank you all for showing up. Thank you, Sniper and Lily, for showing up. Thank you for the feedback. That helps a lot. Good to know the books are coming out well. I'll be working on the Beast Lore tonight, probably. I don't think we'll do any game program. I've done some icons that explain the game, which I wanted to do. So, GBS has something to watch over and learn.
Sniper Heartwolf says, Sniper 492
and,
love.
Yeah, I hope everybody's day goes well for now. Hope everyone has a fun evening. Remember to get your snacks and stuff. Don't starve. And have fun, yeah. Thank you all for showing up. Yeah. I'll probably still do some more game dev stuff later because I'm a bit burnt out on game right now. The Minecraft server's still up. I've been checking out every so often. Have fun. Yeah. Bye.